the Mako is back. What's up guys, it's your boy Rich here with the back by popular demand Zelos Mako in bronze. Let's go take a closer look. Let's go. And here is the Zelos Mako 500 in bronze. That represents the newest batch from the original batch that was sold out, and now the bronze version is back available. And it is nicely proportioned at 40 millimeters, 46 millimeters from lug to lug, 13.5 millimeters tall, and with a 20 millimeter lug width. So let's start with the dial, because I can see where some people might feel that it's a little crowded, and that's because what looks like extra indices at 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And I always thought they were kind of cool. I just assumed that they were either a shark's fin or maybe a shark's tooth. And when I spoke with Elshan, the owner of Zelos watches, he confirmed that they are shark's teeth. You know, so it never bothered me. I'm fine with it as it is, but I would also be fine if they weren't there. So it doesn't really have any effect on me. What I do like is this gray dial a lot. It's actually called anthracite. And I like its sunburst effect and the spiral texture that it has toward the outer portion of the dial. It's a very attractive dial. And if you follow me regularly, you know that I like red somewhere on the dial. And I like the red tip on the seconds hand and on the text where it says automatic. And it is it has a dive depth of 500 meters, as the name would suggest. I like the lume-filled indices because it kind of sort of reminds me of mother of pearls. And the Mako uses two different types of lume. They use a C3 and a BCGW9, and I'm not sure what the difference is, but it is highly effective. The dial is lumed as well as the bezel and the crown, providing a really strong and nice lume. Another great feature of the Mako 500 is its bezel action. It provides a really sweet audible clicking sound, and with just the right amount of resistance on its unidirectional 120 click count. So let's see if we can hear its really sweet sound. Here we go. That is really nice, and there is zero play. Zelos built a really nice watch. The Mako uses a box crystal, which means a sapphire crystal is slightly domed. Another really nice touch. There is some polished trim around the lugs, and this is in really great condition still. It is still new, but I can see some oxidizing starting to form around the bezel where it's starting to get a little darker. But I can really notice it underneath the bezel where it's starting to turn green. And, you know, some people might not be aware, but bronze can always be restored back to its original glory, or pretty close to what this is, which is still really new, by using some simple, everyday household items such as salt, vinegar, and flour. And though I haven't tried it myself, I have seen videos on bronze watches getting restored, and it is really simple. But I have restored a bronze lamp, and it does work. It restores it back to its original shine. And I'm not really sure why some people would do that, unless maybe you're giving the watch to somebody, and in that case you might want to give it to them in its original shiny, unoxidized, unpatinated form, so that person can create his own patina on the watch, which would make sense, because each of our body's chemistries will create a different patinated look. On the right side of the case where the crown is, we can see a really subtle crown guard. That is, it's not even noticeable unless someone pointed it out to you. So if we look at it on the left side, of course it's not going to be there, but I'm just trying to show you the difference of how subtle it is. And we might not notice it, like I said, unless it was pointed out to us. But it is there, and it does protect the crown just enough. And what is worth noting is that if you have big fingers, it might be a little challenging to pull the crown out when you're winding it. But once it's out, it's a non-issue. And for me, it's a non-issue because my fingers aren't that big. But it's not it's not noticeable at all, which means it's not going to be awkward or looking asymmetrical. But it does do its job. The Mako comes with the standard Zelos presentation, or I should say the standard impressive presentation, which includes a wooden box, a leather watch roll, a steel warranty card for 1 year, and an extra waxed vintage leather strap that I think goes really nicely with this case. The strap that comes on the watch is this Tropic rubber strap, which is pretty standard looking Tropic strap here, but it is really soft and ready to go. There is no breaking in period, and it is really comfortable. And there we see the Zelos branding on the bronze buckle. And if we turn the watch over, we see a solid case back with an engraved shark. And it is really nice. You know, this shark there is really cool, and it is nice and deep, so it is well done. And so what is the movement powering this watch since it has a solid case back? Well, it uses the Swiss Solida 200 movement. Earlier, I touched on this dial being anthracite, but it also comes in a really cool meteorite dial. So let me show you what a meteorite dial looks like. And this is their Helmsman 2, but I wanted to show you how cool this really looks. And it is a genuine meteorite dial. It's just a very striking dial. Very, very cool. So if we show you side by side, we can see the real big difference between the anthracite and the meteorite. And I really like the meteorite a lot, but since I already own a meteorite dial, I thought having an anthracite would be a great addition. What do you say we get some wrist shots? Mickey is there for you, and I'll be right back. So in addition to the entirely bronze watch, which means the bronze case and bronze bezel, there is a ceramic bezel insert that's available in a Batman version, an all blue version, and a black ceramic insert with a meteorite dial. There is also a steel version for the Mako 500, but I believe those are still sold out. There is not a new batch of them just yet. The retail price for this model is $799, but Zelos is having a special to help celebrate that these watches are no longer sold out with their new batches, and the price to celebrate the new availability is $429, and I think that is a really strong price for an excellent watch. You know, I've really become a fan of bronze watches. I like bronze a lot, and to me, I think bronze is the ultimate watch during the summer, especially if it's a diver's watch. But during the winter, I've been wearing this with flannel shirts, and because I live in LA, I still wear t-shirts. So I'm really digging wearing the bronze watch as a casual, everyday watch. And, you know, if I want to dress it up a little bit, I will put on the leather strap. But this is just a really great watch. And we're back with some final thoughts on the Mako. You know, Elshan, the owner of Zelos, and the Zelos team, in my opinion, is doing everything right. They are over-delivering on the quality of their watches, and as a result, they sell out really quickly. So I am very fortunate to be able to get my hands on the new batch of the Mako in bronze. I think Zelos is one of those brands that is so beloved by watch fans that we can't get enough of his watches, and in return, I think it's amazing that he's able to deliver on those demands by not shorting us with the quality of his next watches. For example, I think it's a good move that he's moving up to the Swiss Solida movement. And if we look at the other watches in his lineup, they are pretty impressive, and I like his new Sky Raider as well. So it's really exciting to see what Elshan and the Zelos team is going to come up with next. It's a brand that we can't wait for the next watch. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you the next time. And it's what Zelos and the Elshan team. No, it's what Elshan and the Zelos team. The Maker is back. The Mako is back. I mean, he sells out of his watches as quickly as